Good morning and happy Thanksgiving to all my foilists out there, my casual viewers, first time viewers. This is Danny Cohen with the Foil Stars, and we have got another win in the books. This is an elite team doing elite things. Dallas wins another squeaker. Not a whole lot of space in this game like the last time we played Seattle. And the Stars go 5 for 5 on the penalty kill without half of our decor. Dallas gets one power play and goes 0 for 1 on that. So they didn't let us have a whole lot of opportunity with our elite power play. We still win it anyway. And after that win, we now have a 10-game road point streak. Dallas is 8-1-1 in their last 10. Dallas is 9-1-3 on the road, now in sole possession of the best road record. And Dallas has a 10-game streak of points gotten in number 2 games of the back-to-back. So Casey DeSmith puts up a .929 on the night. He's got a .959 in his last 4 games played. And before we get into all the details of the game and the latest on Stars, do this for me. Subscribe, like, comment, share, post this on social media. Help me get the word out. So DeSmith lets in one rough one from distance. It was kind of a nasty shot. I don't know if he could have stopped that one, but either way, he puts up a combined .949 in the 2 games against the Kraken so far this year. Pretty good stuff. Hard to really knock him much. The Stars and Kraken take turns scoring all game. Dallas gets the last turn to score, and they get the win. So Robo's goal streak comes to an end, unfortunately, at 7, but he set the Dallas record, beating Modano's 6 goals. That was set, I think it was in 2001, so pretty rare that you see somebody score for that many games in a row like he did. Robo's point streak also ends at 8. Seguin gets another 2 assists on the night. Seguin is now 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in his last 11 games played. So just consistent, good hockey from one of the graybeards now in the room in Seguin, which is weird to say. He's on pace for about 60 points this year, so hopefully he can keep that pace up. And especially since I think we're still paying him $10 million this year, right? So anyway, Kolyachonok would get his first goal in a Dallas uniform. He would make it a good one with a game-winning goal. Dallas's depth at D here is quite impressive between Kolyachonok and Capobianco, Alex Petrovic. All these guys have stepped up with half of the Dallas defense missing, and we really haven't seen them miss much of a beat. And in some ways, some of these guys are playing better defense than Thomas Harley did, right? I mean, on the defensive side of things, Thomas Harley's had a rough year, and these call-ups, they've been pretty stingy on the back end there. So good to see. I feel bad for some of these left-hand Ds that are buried under our depth right now with Lindell, Harley, Bichsel. Now we've got Capobianco, and actually Kolyachonok, he plays on the right side, but he's a left-hand D too. Keep in mind, we still have Trey Taylor in the AHL, who's a really good prospect for us. So we are looking very solid in terms of defensive depth this year, and that's really good to see. Benn has another assist on the night, and we're seeing maybe the second Renaissance here. He's got now 4 points in 5 games played with very limited minutes. He only had 11 minutes on the game here tonight. So pretty impressive what he's doing and playing essentially fourth line minutes out there. Every once in a while they're putting him up on the top line, but he's still not getting a whole lot of ice time. So we'll see if that changes as we progress and he gets acclimated. Hintz with 1 goal on the game. Lindell with 1 goal on the game. Bichsel keeps doing great things. He had 5 hits on the night. He's a +7 on the year, which is good for 4th best on the team. He's tied for Petrovic in that regard. So just great stuff from our depth defense here. Esa Lindell had a 28-minute game. He is the team leader in plus minus, not surprisingly, at +12. Miro had a 29-minute game to lead the team, as always. And Dallas would take to the bank a 7 turnover advantage. So we would stay even in shots with the Kraken up until the last minute push from the Kraken, but pretty even game throughout in terms of scoring chances. The way the game played out, Petrovic would take a double minor in the very early stages of the game in the first minute, and we would end up getting through it a little after the whistle skirmish in front of DeSmith there. The Stars would end up getting the first goal. Hintz wins the ozone faceoff and gets it back to Petrovic at the point. Petrovic installs it into the corner for Benn, who fends off his man to get the puck and gives it back to Petro at the point, who shoots. And Hintz gets in front of it with the tip. It goes in between Decord's legs. It is 1-0, and the Seattle Kraken would never see a lead. So DeSmith would stop a shot from the point. He looked sharp again early here. Seattle would come back and score. Montour would throw it at the net, and it was an angle of about 185 degrees to DeSmith's left, and it would bounce off of him and go in. I'm sure DeSmith would want that one back. Johnston had a nice takeaway. He did some good things in this game. I don't think he factored in on the score sheet, but night in, night out recently, he's been doing great things on the ice. And he even threw a hit on Marchment and knocked him over later in the game, which is awesome to see for the little guy taking out the behemoth in Marchment. I'm sure that they probably laughed about that one after the game. At this stage of the game, the rink is kind of tilted against us, but we get through it. There's a beautiful drive-by backhand chance by Rantanen. Beautiful glove save in response to that one. Bichsel with the ozone takeover that leads turnover rather that leads to a scoring chance the other way, and he gets back in time to avoid an odd man rush there, so he recovered. Bichsel and Petrovic with some more net front aggression, which is good to see. I love the swashbuckling and all that kind of good stuff. Seattle takes a late penalty in the first period, so it's split between the first period and the second, which doesn't really allow us to get momentum on it. We wouldn't do anything with it, so it's a big kill for them, and it was the only kill that they would have to make in the entire game. This is one of the least penalized teams in the league, and they're showing exactly why they're able to get away with such a poor penalty kill, because they just don't put people on the job very much, and they didn't do it tonight. So then we would get a goal, this time from Lindell. Kartye would make a bad drop pass in the Dallas zone. Robo would pick it up along the wall, passes it to Seguin across the ice, who cuts to the middle, dishes it to Lindell, who shoots from a sharp angle close to the net. It would pinball around, come back to him, and then he would put it past Decord on the second go-around short side. Jamie Benn would take a holding the stick penalty. Steele would make some good steals on the penalty kill there, and Bichsel would make a good block in the dying seconds of the PK. Benn with the Harley kick shot on goal, looking vintage Jamie Benn. Big save by Decord on Johnston in the slot. I thought Decord looked pretty good all game. Hintz and Kraken player would tussle and hold, and both would get called for holding. So there's a 4-on-4. And then Jaden Schwartz, it looked like he hurt his knee and he would leave and not return. I think he's actually their leading scorer right now. So big loss for them. And then there was a blast of a slapper one-timer from Petro in the dying seconds that is stopped, and another save on Heiskanen. And we would go to the third period. So in the third period, right off of the opening draw, Vince Dunn would take it end to end as the puck went back into the Seattle zone, and he would puck rush it all the way through and around everyone in traffic. Miro was caught up the ice, and Jamie was defending on the right side in his absence, and Miro didn't really hustle back on the play, and Vince would rip it past DeSmith for the goal from pretty good distance. So I don't know if DeSmith, I couldn't tell if he was out of position on that one, but that would be the last goal that Seattle Kraken would get. So the Stars would take a too many men on the ice penalty. McCann blast Wyatt into the boards from behind on our penalty kill there. There was some tight hockey throughout the majority of the period here, and the Stars would end up getting the go-ahead and game-winning goal with about 6 minutes left. There was a high cycle in the offensive zone. Capobianco to Seguin on the near wall. Seguin drops it to Kolyachonok at the point, and Kolyachonok would wire it through a screen of traffic and gets the goal off of the iron glove side. Nice shot from him, his first goal as a Dallas Star, and he makes it a good one. So the Stars would take a penalty with 3:35 left by Petrovic to make it a little harder on ourselves, but and it looked kind of like a dive. Ritzy shoves the Kraken player and the puck out of the zone on the penalty kill and gets the clear with about 10 seconds left on the power play. So they didn't give him a whole lot, but some tense moments at the very end. DeSmith with a couple saves with the goalie pulled, and one with 10 seconds left to send us to victory. So the Stars would get 3 of 4 wins on the road trip. We would unfortunately have the worst case scenario play out where Minnesota beats Chicago in overtime. So Minnesota keeps winning, and both of our Central Division foes pick up points on the game. Minneapolis, Minnesota is still chasing right on our heels with only 2 points to spare on our end. We have 1 game in hand, so we can extend that a little bit. The Utah Mammoth lose in regulation. They're now 7 points behind us, and we have 1 game in hand. We go and play them next after the Thanksgiving day to put Utah well behind us, hopefully. The Avs crush the Sharks 6-0 and keep winning on their end. So we have got to keep winning games here. Again, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on the other side of it.